y'all. How are y'all doing? Happy Tuesday, post Labor Day. I'm gonna do love after lockup. It's almost over, and I got so many questions. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, and then I'm gonna give y'all my logic, because I think logically, and some of these conversations just hurt my spirit. So let's talk to Scott and Lindsay. She's finally heading home from the airport. Scott, and she calls her daughter saying, "Hi, I'm coming home," when she's not. Why would you call and tell her that before you talk to your mother to find out what's really happening? Because you know what, the coronavirus is happening. She shows the airport and shows like nobody's in there. So you know something's going on. And her mom is like, "Yeah, no, you got to kind of quarantine first for 14 days before you come and see her to make sure you're not sick." So now the little girl's let down again. And then she was saying, she's so happy to finally come home, and she hopes that the same connection her and Scott had is the same connection that they have in person. And she was basically a sugar baby when she was locked up and before she got locked up, and she dealt with older men for money purposes. Scott, this fits that same criteria, so maybe, I'm just saying. Then they go to the airport and they hug, and she's like, "Oh, I thought he would be taller." Complaint number one within 5 minutes. They walk to the car, and she's like, "Oh, why would you drive this drug dealer car to come pick me up?" Complaint number two, 10 minutes. And where's the limousine that you had and everything? I'm like, "Girl, he had that the last time, and you ain't come out because you started acting a fool in jail. So stop it. Why would he do something extra for you who he didn't know?" Point is, he didn't know. So she was supposed to get assigned to a halfway house. That doesn't pan out because of the pandemic, and I guess they can't figure out how to do this with minimizing the spread of COVID. So they get to the house, and I don't know if she did drugs before she left out, or maybe it's withdrawal symptoms. I don't know. Haven't been around drug addicts, but she just moves. Like, a lot of them have these little sudden movements that just, like, I'm talking to you like this, and this is fine. I scratch my nose, whatever, but it's in a controlled movement. Everybody on the show that has done their confessional and talked to their significant other are just like, what do y'all do in jail? Oh my God. But I'm gonna show you the video, because when she gets to this house, she is livid. I'm livid. I'm like, who did this and why? So just go ahead and look at the video. Exactly. The house looked like hell. The smoke detector's hanging out the ceiling. The garage is supposed to be the girl's room. Looks like hell. Like, the floors are dusty and dirty. Stuff is just every fucking where. The closet that he did for her per her images, because she sent him pictures of everything that she wanted the house to look like a year ago. He has his own business. Why wasn't this done? Even if you did a room every couple of months, you'd have been finished. So her closet and the picture she sent him, it's a stretch. It's close, but it's not that close. And it just looks terrible. It just looks terrible. And he doesn't even have clothes folded up. It's just like thrown into the cubby hole. Like, man, that you could hire somebody. What happened to the lady you had came and said that you I don't know. I thought you had somebody to come and get this house together. But she's like, there's dog hair in the in the bathtub, and it's your hair. He's like, "No, I cleaned up." And she's like, "You're lying about everything, and why didn't you tell me? You promised me Disneyland, and I came home to nothing." And he's like, "Well, you're so ungrateful. Do you like anything about the house?" And he goes, "The closet is almost exactly like how you wanted it." And she's like, "I lived in a 5x8. This is a 5x8. Thank you for my 5x8." And they just get into it, and she wants to like scream and rip his head off. But she has nowhere to go. She has to suck it up and stay because she can't see her daughter. She has no money, so she has to just be quiet and just sit down. Now, here's the logic for me. You don't do none of this mess with somebody you don't know. You don't expect the world and you fresh out. You don't have the world, so you can't expect much. Be happy you are in a home where you have freedom, you have running water, a bed to sleep in. You can get food when you want to get it, and there's no bars in betwixt you and that person. Like, come on. Stop expecting so much from these people. How about maybe if you sent him pictures and he says, yeah, I'm going to get it done. Maybe like in the process of 6-7 months, take pictures, baby. Let me see what it looks like so when I come home, I could be pleasantly surprised. How about that? But we're not going, that's logic speaking. Sean and Destiny, so Destiny's on her way back and she's upset about the car being declined for the $175. And she comes in the house with nothing. So I'm like, he gave you $3,000 to use and you were around all day. So what did you really buy? Did you buy nothing? I'm confused. There's some time gaps that I'm missing. So did you buy nothing and you had nothing? Because that was the first purchase you had? Or was you out all day? No. She did. She was out. She was using, I don't know. There's gaps. But anyway, then he talks about how, he couldn't do anything to call the company because she had the card. So, and she goes, you couldn't Google a number? No, because you had the card. And everybody knows if you lose your bank card, your credit card, Google the 800 number. You call the 800 number. If they can't verify by the phone number you're calling from, they will verify by your social security number, your code word, anything. They can verify who you are. So you're lying. You're lying. You cut her off, and that's what it was. And she's mad. He's like, well, I created this crazy monster. I'm sad that I did that. Now I have to figure out how I can keep this up until her court date. So basically you're trying to pacify her until her court date so you can get your scratch back and you don't lose 50K. That's the whole conversation that he talks about and he has is about him losing his money. You should have thought about that before you put it up, because she's a flight risk. Then he says he has to figure out the things with Kelly because they talk every day. And we just found out that a year ago, he was trying to get back with her. Excuse me? When you was talking to her 8 months ago. So the timeline again ain't adding up, Sean. Ain't adding up. Then he goes to buy her an engagement ring with his best friend. And his best friend is like, wow, dude, you're doing a lot. She has given you nothing. She has spent your money. You have tricked her out, basically. And she has shown you nothing. So what are you doing all this for? Like, you're doing so much for nothing. And he's like, no, I love her. And I have to figure out how I'm going to do this. And he's like, you're moving too fast. But, whatever. And then she starts cooking breakfast. And she's like, I don't even understand how, I don't remember how to cook eggs. I don't remember how to fry bacon. You put oil in the pan, right? And I'm like, come on now. You wasn't in a coma. You was in jail. Like, stop. But whatever. And then she was saying the shady producers, asked her, how did you drink when you were in jail? And she said, hand sanitizer and a lot of Kool-Aid. What? Is that like a rum punch? Are you doing Kool-Aid and making that your chaser? Like, because I know hand sanitizer can have up to 80% alcohol, 70%. So you put a lot of hand sanitizer and Kool-Aid and balance the ratio out. Like, what is y'all doing? Y'all got a lot of time. But, she said she used to get really messed up off of that. And then they wake up again the next morning. He's talking about the 50K again, talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to keep you together because you have a few weeks before your court date. And she goes, yeah, dude, I'm going to chill today, blow up the unicorn. I want to go in a pool outside. And he's like, okay. And he goes outside to do the unicorn, and his ex calls, and he's talking to her. She comes outside. Who you talking to? And he's like, Kelly. And she's just like, send me a ticket home. Give me a ticket home. And they start going ham and going back and forth. And Kelly's like, really? Seriously? Seriously? And he's like, what? Well, I got to go. And then she's like, whatever. And she hung up the phone. He has to have a relationship with his mother, his children's mother. 6 kids. You don't have one, you have 6. So you should kind of be listening to the conversation and being sure where it's going. And I feel like you jumped the gun. But, Sean lies too. So now here's the logical part. Yes, Destiny, I have a relationship with my ex-wife because we talk about our kids, and the kids, have different things going on, and this is how we just check in. This is how we've been doing it. We have no relations. We don't want to get back with each other. This is just how it is. Explain to her up front. That's the logic in me. But who am I? Then we got Quaylon and Chevelle. This is the party that Chevelle's throwing for him, and there's so many people. And I feel like people who have been in jail are not used to a lot of people being around them. So Chevelle should have kind of toned that party down a little bit, because he looks awkward. He looks distressed. He looks nervous. And he doesn't know what to do. So he just, like, you see him with his new phone trying to figure the phone out. And he goes up in corners. It's not working out. So then she tells him, close your eyes. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to show you what I got for you. So he closes his eyes. And it's this big-ass truck. Picture. He can't drive because he don't have a license. He got locked up when he was 17. He don't have a license. He ain't took the road test. Why are you buying him a car? I'm asking. So it's like you giving him all these material things, and he has nothing to start. He hasn't got a job. He hasn't found an interview. He hasn't gotten his license. He hasn't gotten a permit. He hasn't done anything. He's been away for 12 years. You got to break him into this stuff slowly but surely. But like her mom said, that's who Chevelle is. She goes all in. She does everything for everybody. And that money could have been used for her daughter or for a house. And everybody's right but Chevelle. So she's, whatever. So Quaylon's mom and Chevelle's mom are talking. And she said, what kind of foolishness was that? Does your daughter do that for everybody, basically? And she goes, no, that's just, she loves hard. And she goes, I think she's just like dangling stuff over that she bought for him to keep him trapped. And she goes, how do you know my son didn't, how do you know he didn't ask her to buy him that? She goes, my son wouldn't do that. He don't come from that. And they start, but and then the sister and Chevelle start talking, and she's like, why would you have him living around here where this is where he got shot at? This is the environment that got him messed up in the first place. And she goes, and Chevelle's like, well, he's grown. He can make his own choices. And she's like, no, he went in when he was 17. His mind stopped. I agree. When you go into jail, you are in survival mode for however long you're in there, and you're trying to make it work. And then the world is jail politics, not what's going on in the real world, because he don't even know what a cell phone is, look like, can be, possibly, none of that. He probably had like a Nokia when he went in. He don't know what an iPhone is. He don't know what life look like. He don't know how to pay a bill. He don't know how to be a father. He don't know a lot. So mentally, I agree with the sister Quinandria that he is still 17. So this is going to be an interesting transition. It's not real life. And then D-Mark and Quaylon talking, and he's like, I don't believe you. All this smoke and mirrors. Right now, Chevelle is in like a pink bubble, and she think everything is roses, and, what's going to happen? You're going to walk away from her after you get everything she could have? And he's like, no, I'm going to be there for her. I sent her daughter letters and bears for her birthday. He's like, yeah, but this is real life. It's real life, and he still don't get it. It's going to be a transition, so we're going to see. Christiana and John, they go to, her conditions of her being in the halfway house are she has to find a job, and she has to look for work every day. She has to submit paperwork that shows where she went to look for work, what application she's filled out, and she says she has to have 10 a week at least. So he picks her up, and he's taking her different places. So they want to go to lunch and try to steal a little bit more time to be with each other than just driving to restaurant or place to place. And they go to this like little, restaurant, and they go in and they sit down and ask for an application. And she's like, oh, I can give you an application. And then they put the menus down. As soon as the menus come down, here comes the POs. You need to come with us right now. And she's like, well, why? What happened? We supposed to be looking for a job. I am looking for a job. I did ask her for an application. And I feel like this. Yes, you were wrong for going in there doing that. What you should have done is went in there and filled the application out first. Started filling the application at the table so you could have it on the table. No, you didn't know somebody was following you, but at the same time, you kind of knew they was following you because you said it. So, whatever. So she gets all pissed off, and it's like, we tried to be a little slick, but it didn't work out. Then John's like, it's going to be okay. She calls him. She's stressing out. And apparently, when they give you tickets for violating whatever conditions they have, they keep you in the halfway house longer, which means the halfway house gets paid more money for your head. It's a game. It's a game. It's a cycle. And this is how they all fail. So Maurice and Jessica go to her parents' house, and Maurice is running off at the jibs, and he gets real comfortable. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. And he blurts out that they shouldn't even be there because he's violating his parole. Oh, then it goes all to hell. Then the dad takes him outside, and he's talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I can't be here. You have to go back. Let her stay here until you get the paperwork. She can visit you. And then they start talking about, yeah, because at my cousin's house, I ain't like being there because they had roaches and stuff. There was like everywhere, turn the lights on, roaches everywhere. What that got to do with nothing? What they got to do with nothing? Then Heather and Dylan, they've been dating for 5 years. Sorry, they dated for 3 months before he went in. They never had relations, and they've been doing this jail relationship for 5 years. She's going her way to pick him up. She's put all this makeup on, and she had a vision board, and part of her vision board was meeting somebody like him, and she trusts him. And she was saying when she grew up at 14, she didn't do drugs, she didn't run away, she wasn't a partier, she's had a bad attitude. And whatever she said to her stepfather, however she talked to him, he didn't like it. Told her mom sent her to a boot camp facility where she got raped, which is horrific. Your 14-year-old teen has a bad attitude. Is that new? They all got bad attitudes because life ain't going their way. But to send her away is horrible. So Dylan is the first person she told that story to, and that's why she feels that he's her soulmate. And he was saying he's been in and out of jail 34 times. He used to model. And I feel like when he added that piece into it, he's trying to be like a prison bae. Like, he's mixed. I'm not sure what he's mixed with. He's black and something else. Maybe Spanish or something else. I don't forget what he's mixed with. But he's trying to get another modeling contract when he's fresh out because he mentioned that a bit too much for me. And she's standing outside, and she's like, oh, my God, babe, hurry up, babe. Look, hurry up. And look at this video of how long it takes to get from the jail all the way to where she is. It's a long walk. Like, just watch the video. Exactly. A lot going on. So, oh, my eyes are killing me. The allergies. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Then they go, he gets in the car, they're kissing, and they're like all emotional and stuff like that. And then they get to a car wash, and I guess they had a fantasy of doing it in the car wash or whatever. And she must have shown him a video of her naked because he's on a phone looking at a white woman's back, could be her. I don't know who it was. And I'm just like, oh my God, what are we doing right now, people? And she's just really excited to see him. She's happy that he's there, and he's talking about she acts eccentric, and she has 3 tattoos of his name on her body. You've known him for 3 months, and in those 3 months to a year, she had a tattoo in Arabic with his name, a tattoo on her leg in Chinese, and then on her chest in English. And what? But okay. Tyrese and Shonda, they heading to the bus stop, and she's eating chicken wings in the car because she has to get to the bus. And he tries to kiss her. She's like ducking and dodging, and he grabs the back of her head. And she's like, stop playing, or whatever. She kisses him, and then she's like, I like him, and it's whatever. But it's kind of creepy because I'm the same age as his daughter. You knew that when you were talking to him before. What's the difference now? Because it's out and you official. I feel like he shouldn't have wore that suit. Because Cat Daddy looked good. Cat Daddy's he's not unattractive. In the picture she sent him of him working out in regular clothes, he looks like a good Cat Daddy. But when he threw that blueberry wide leg Steve Harvey bad body suit on, that wasn't it. And then you got tape on your glasses, but you got all this money. Get some new glasses, dress better, and let's try this again. But she's like, he's like, I think we can make it. And she's like, yeah, okay. Like, it don't seem 100%, but whatever. And she's going on a bus for 14 hours to her halfway house. And she has to be there for a while. And he said, I'll go see her, when I can. And then his son is just like, Dad, like you doing a lot for this girl. And he's like, she said, how much money did you give her when she left? And he's like, I gave her $20 million. Bitch, mean that's none of your business. And he's just trying to put Pops up on game. Cat Daddy, don't do that. But we gonna see how this work out, y'all. Couple more episodes left before the mid-season finale, I think it is. So Love to Have to Lock Up. That's all I got. I ain't got no more. I'm still tired because I was in New York for my friend's birthday and I'm still exhausted. But thank y'all for watching.